I am so excited for our guest today. I found out about this guy from my hairdresser who was obsessed with him because of the work he does and his energy, his spirit, and the way he approaches life and who he approaches life with. He's an amazing adoption advocate, animal advocate, rescuer, just an all-around really cool dude. And I'm excited he took time from his schedule, his 4-pod schedule, to come and talk with us. Mr. Lee Asher.
What up?
I want to call you Asher. Has anyone ever called you Asher before?
You know, I think more people call me Asher than my actual name than Lee, so that makes sense. I respond to it.
I had to say to myself over and over, I'm like, it's not Asher, it's Lee. It's not Asher, it's Lee.
It happens all the time. Asher works. It's definitely a better name than Lee, in my opinion.
It's a cool name. What is Asher? Do you know your roots?
Not that much. I know that when my name originally started, I believe it was either in Egypt. I know it goes back to like Israel as well, but there was it came from a king was once named Asher, and then I think I spell it Asher, but my great grandparents, it was originally Acher. So okay. I don't know if that's a good thing, but so yeah, go ahead, call me Asher. Royalty. I come from royalty. That's basically what I'm trying to. This is my opportunity to let everyone know that I come from royalty, which is why I live in a school bus with 9 dogs.
And I said, because we were talking about areas of Florida, and Boca Raton is one of my favorite places just because.
Sorry, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that sentence. You are a comedian. Look at you. You're funny. You're funny.
I think Boca is the greatest set. Boca Raton. I'm going to Boca Raton. I just love.
Yeah. I'm going to go raise in Boca.
Yeah, I'm going to Boca. Oh, we're going to go to Boca. Have you tried the ceviche in Boca?
Last time I had it there, it gave me some sort of virus.
I had agita. I cried out of my butthole for a week, but it was good going down.
What type of ceviche? Doesn't have shrimp in it.
Are these
scallops? This is disgusting. You know what's so funny about this? You're reminding me of a story that was quite transformational.
Oh God.
There's a deli in Boca that we used to go to called Flakowitz. Depends how everyone pronounces it, either Flakowitz or Flakowitz, right? Jewish deli owned by Italians. And I remember one day I was walking in with my mom, and she's about 4 or 5 feet in front of me, and she literally steps on probably 3 drops of water. I don't even know how she saw it, and she steps on it, and a waitress walks by, and my mom goes, "I just want you to know that I stepped on that water and I almost broke my neck." And it really, to me, because that's the kind of person my mom is and was, it went in one ear out the other. But the table that heard that didn't know that I was with her, they start mocking her to each other, I almost broke my neck, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's weird. I guess I shouldn't be like that.
She's got a flair for the dramatics.
It's quite to the max.
Are both of your parents, are you guys all from Boca? Are you from Boca Raton?
No, I mean, I left, but I was always eager to leave. So when I went to college when I was 17, and I haven't even been back to Boca. So it's been a long time.
And your family's all there?
No. I don't even have any family besides I have an aunt that lives in Boca, and my grandfather lives in Boca. But yeah, my dad lives in Israel now, and my mom lives in Nevada.
Wow, are you close with your parents?
Not really.
That's interesting.
Not ever since that Flakowitz incident. No. Yeah, they're close to me. We speak. They're like friends. I talk to them because they're family. But I don't go to them for what most people go to their parents for. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Did you?
Yeah.
Is that one of the things that sort of drives you to spend time with animals? Is it, was there some parental situations where you just felt like you wanted to break free and become your own person?
No, I mean, I just like what drove me so close to animals was basically when I went to school. I grew up with like severe learning disabilities, so I was always like separated from like the cool kids. Like I was the only one in my class that like wouldn't have like Tourette's or like wasn't just crazy. Like I was always like, man, where the fuck am I right now? Like I just so did not fit in, but I couldn't get good grades because I literally just couldn't focus to a sentence if my life depended on it. Like I can't promise you that I tried, but I remember trying to convince people that I was trying at least. So I was quite the outcast, and my parents, although I loved them, I always knew like this isn't like they're not the perfect role models, if you will.
Yeah.
Their priorities and values were just wouldn't make the normal person happy or anyone happy, excuse me. So I always like seeked out mentors and people to look up to. And I really escaped in movies. I watched a lot of movies growing up, like all the time. But one day on the way to school, I noticed like some building that said animal shelter or sanctuary, whatever it said. And during my lunch, I went to this animal shelter. It was an animal shelter, and I started going there like every day, like during my lunch break. And sometimes there's quite a few times where I didn't even go back to school, and I would just play with these dogs, and I would like even communicate with them, and I not communicate like psychic, like I would just like talk to them is what I mean. And
I know. I mean, I have 3. I communicate with them. We have full-on conversations.
Yeah. And, they were all for adoption, and they were in such small cages. So I was always like so confused. I remember like my first impression when I saw them inside the cage, I was scared because, you think anything inside of a cage is dangerous, right? It's kind of what you're taught when you're younger. But like I just had so much love for them because they were so sweet and amazing and always so happy to see me. So, that's really where my love and really kind of my dedication for rescue came from. Yeah.
And now you're beyond rescue. You're bringing awareness on wheels, paws and wheels across the country.
Yeah, it's awesome. I with what I do is incredible because I've always really wanted. Like I know that people can suck, and it's very common for everyone to say people suck. But I think that with that mindset, although it can be true, that's a very unhealthy mindset to have because we depend on people. People depend on us. Animals depend on people. So if you have that kind of negative energy going out, that people suck, that's exactly what you're going to attract, and that's what you're going to see. Right? You see what you want to see, basically. So I try to look for the good in people, and the truth is the majority of people are amazing. And no matter how hateful someone can be, no one's born with hate. Like that's taught, it's embedded, it's ingrained. And anyone with hate is also living in a lot of pain. So the best thing that we could do is show compassion and sympathy. And just like animals, any dog that's trying to rip your head off is probably in a lot of pain, fear-based. So I always wanted to do something where I could help people and help animals. And this is kind of like what I do. It was made just for like, well, I made that no one else does it, but I don't say that out of ego. I say that because I don't think there was anything else I really could have done. Like if I wasn't doing what I was doing right now, like every other job, anything I've ever done in my life, I just felt so lost and like so just like I just wasn't happy, it didn't matter. Like I just wasn't fulfilling my dreams or my mission or my purpose. So this is literally the only thing I could do.
That's funny. Yeah. I think that to myself sometimes, doing stand-up. I literally had this thought like last week. I don't know what else I could have done. Like there was nothing else in my life that made sense. And it's funny how you sort of come across a calling. Not many people will have the opportunity like yours or mine or, I'm sure people where you have a calling and you pick up the fucking phone and you live that life.
Yeah.
But I do believe every person has something that they can do and be good at. It's just a matter of being open to that call, to being open to, you know, it being something to do in your life. But it takes dedication. And I'm sure like your Instagram page, it looks like a fucking dream. Like,
Yeah.
you know, my man and I are always like, we need to just find an RV, go out on the road. And I have said for years, like, I just want to live in a fucking van down by the river. Like, I want to be Matt Foley.
Down by the river.
But as amazing as it all looks, and I'm sure it is, I'm sure it comes with struggles. Like, what's the hardest aspect to living on the road with the dogs and being, you know, you're transient, basically?
Yeah. Definitely. You know, I do my best, like not on my regular, like on my lives. I try to go live quite a bit in my stories, and I have a Patreon community that they get kind of a different side of it. But I do my best for just like my regular page. I want people to, that dream that you say that I put out there, I definitely talk about like the downsides of things as well. But it is a dream, and I really want people to know, like, if that is what they want to do, I want people to really believe that they can. And it took a very long time to accomplish it, you know. And I think what you said earlier, not everyone can do that. It's interesting because not everyone has to have. I believe that not everyone has to have their, like, not everyone has to go be that person to buy an RV or a bus with 9 dogs. Because the thing is that I think a lot of people are meant here, I call them angels, to help someone build that mission, to build that sanctuary. A lot of people are here. It's to not support one person. It's not so that they can help me grow, but to support a mission, to support the bigger picture. So, and I think, you know, when a lot of people ask me how I got to this point, and a lot of people ask me how they can figure out what to do with their life, it depends on what you're doing now to get there. If you're just waking up bitching about your life every day instead of doing anything good for humanity or for animals or for the planet, you're not going to be rewarded with this amazing new venture to take on, right? So I always have to remind people that, look, you know, I was volunteering at animal shelters for years, getting jobs, quitting jobs, I was trying to figure it out. But my goal was always not to make money. My goal was always to just be something on this planet that added value. I just wanted to make sure that whatever I was doing, I was adding value. And when you add, I believe when you add enough value, then you get these opportunities to do bigger and better things. And some people don't want to do that. Some people just want to keep adding value in their own way. But as long as everyone just adds at least a little bit of value each day instead of being part of the problem, we're on the right track. You know, that's the key. I would say the hardest thing, like you asked, sorry, hardest thing that you about traveling. I mean, there's a variety of different things, like just like, and I really try to explain.
Blow out.
What?
What if one of those tires blow the fuck out?
I mean, it did. Like, I'm in a house right now because of it. You know, I got stuck on this really gnarly road, and 2 of my fucking tires blew out. Well, the truth is, I fell into a ditch, and then getting the bus out of the ditch ruined my tires. I mean, it weighs 30,000 pounds.
Bus.
What? The bus did.
Okay.
Yeah. And my reaction to it just showed that I'm growing up, because that would have usually made me so angry. And I was just laughing. I was like, I can't believe I'm in a ditch right now. You know, I was like, I just can't believe this. So it was quite a beautiful moment where I'm like, I'm handling this well.
It is, you know, those moments, woo, 10 years ago, it's like
exactly.
Like,
oh man. Yeah, you immediately like become the victim. You're like looking up as if God is looking at you, like, you fucker, I got you. You're like, why me? Because you suck.
That's what's going through most people's minds.
Right. Like, why you? Because you're a mistake. You're a mistake. You know, and those kids getting tortured in Africa, you know, you're just like them.
All those people with horrible illness. It's you.
Yeah, you're just
same
like
shit.
them.
It is the precipice of maturity where adversity before you were mature would set you off into a ferocious whirlwind of anger. And now for me, which it sounds like it's similar for you, I just, when things happen, any sort of challenges, I go right through them. I'm like, all right, cool. This is going to bring me someplace.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm here for a reason. The universe wants me here.
And that's the biggest thing. By the way, where exactly do I look? Am I looking at myself, at you, or the camera up front? I feel like I'm doing this fucking triangle thing with my eyes here, where I think 90% of these people are gonna be like, that dude is cross-eyed.
You go ahead. You can do the triangle all day. I'm like,
that's what I've been doing. I don't know where. Yeah, where exactly are you looking? Because you seem like you know what you're doing here. I feel like you're looking right at me.
All over. Once in a while, I'll look right down the fucking barrel.
Oh, I see what's happening here.
I'm thinking, and then I'm looking at you. You're doing it. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great.
Okay. All right, I'm getting in my head. No, but yeah, the thing is like, you talk about challenges and things that come up. It's like, it's so funny. Not funny. It's sad. And again, I'm actually going through this right now. This kind of personal development phase in my life. And it's like, no matter what it is that you're doing, no matter how good your life is, no matter how much it sucks, no matter what, you are going to have daily challenges. Like, you're going to have things in your way every single day. Some of those challenges are going to be bigger than others, right? But no matter what, they're challenges. And it's like, all the time that we spend complaining about that challenge, or trying to find a way to, not resolve it or whatever it is, that's just going to bring on more challenges. Like, what we need to do, like, it's about, and I really learned this, I believe, from being on the road. It's like, we cannot control that. Like, no matter what, we cannot control it. And we just have to take on each challenge head on, knowing that tomorrow there's going to be a new one, and the day after might be the worst one we've ever had, but we are committed. Like, we've already lived this far. Like, we are committed to it. And that challenge with the bus, like, I believe, for some reason, I don't know why, but 2020 has been a year for a lot of people, including me. It's just been that, it's crazy. And I guess it brings everyone some comfort that we're all going through it together. But like, it doesn't mean that 2021 isn't going to be worse. Like, anything can happen. And
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like, it's not like after everyone's like, 2020 sucked, can't wait for next year. I'm like, how do you know it's not going to be 10 times worse, And I think that
the meteorite coming.
Yeah, I mean, like, it just shows, like, we have no idea. We cannot say we cannot say, and it's just like, I have found to be really found to be truly happy right now by focusing only on what I actually can control. Like, only on what I can control, which is me. Like, it's me. It's my health, my body, my thoughts, my mission, what I do every day, and everything outside of that is strictly not up to me. Yep. Like, I can't have any sort of ownership over it. And I think that this is such a good time for people who are quarantined. I know a lot of people are starting to do their own thing, but this is such a good time to really reflect and understand that. I mean, literally a few days ago, I was in the shower and I just apologized. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I just thought of like this one time how angry and stupid I got like years ago. Like, and I literally just apologized. I was like, you don't know what to hear. I was like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, I said something, like, I hurt someone's feelings because I was mad. And it's like, yeah, like, I think of, like, there are some things that, like, you just can't control. It's like, we can't control the past. We can't control what people do. We can't control, there's a fucking random ditch in the road that blows out your tires or whatever. Like, so I think with everything that's going on, I know how crazy it is, but it is a good opportunity for a lot of people to be like, yo, this can happen every year for the rest of my life. Like, I don't know what can happen, but I can make sure that I'm doing everything I can to be happy,
Yeah, and it goes back to that, like, mentality. Mindset is such a huge aspect to the outcome of our day. Like, people suck. Well, your food's gonna suck, and the movie you watch is gonna suck, and your shower's gonna suck. It's all gonna suck. Yeah. It's such a defeatist approach to life. And those people usually are fucking boo-hoos and woe is me and become victims. And it's this vicious cycle.
100%. Exactly.
And it's not that I don't sometimes feel that way. There's a balance to all of it. But finding a routine to get
Oh,
yourself
yeah.
out of that is so vital to your mental survival and health. And like, I would imagine for you, I know for me, I can speak for myself, my dogs
Mhm.
set my day off every single day. The first thing I do is I exercise them before I even eat. We go out for like a little over an hour and take our time, and you know, they get exercise and they sniff every little fucking square inch, and I get to deal with my day. You know, I get to
Yeah.
get over the weird dream I had the night before, or something that was rolling around in my mind that I was stressed about or insecure about. After the walk, I've totally forgotten what it was. You know, I
Yeah.
think so many people go to sleep and wake up with a lot of noise that they're not dealing with, and they don't have a routine in
Oh, for
place
sure.
to sort of scrub out.
And I love what you said there about dealing with, because I think a lot of the noise inside people's minds, a lot of that noise, they not only do they not deal with it, but they try to distract themselves from it. They
Yep.
try to not think of it
Yep.
when that noise is trying to tell you something, you know. And sometimes that noise has a face, and that face is someone that makes you feel insecure, or someone that you know has punished you, that you're trying to prove wrong, but we try not to think of it. It's all about understanding our feelings and understanding why we are a certain way, and actually dealing with it, you know, is actually figuring out a way to be okay with your feelings, whether they're positive or negative. And yeah, I mean, that is one of the best things about dogs, is that for me, is that like well, hopefully people who have them are good owners, but they force you to move. Like one of the best way, you know, they force you to go outside, go for those long walks, and obviously the constant love that they remind you of every single day is like the absolute best thing to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most motivating thing in the world, is love. Like it's that's why people want to be rich, so they receive significance to receive love. Even people who do awful things, you know, it's to receive love from someone else or for something. Like it's really, at the end of the day, the only outcome. And dogs just like are that constant love in our lives all the time, like all the time. They're just there, and they're like, I love you, and I don't care what we do, as long as we do
I
it together. You're
know.
like, awesome.
They're the greatest, right? I
They're
try to
the
be mad at my pit bull. I'm sure you're
best. Yeah.
familiar with pit bull farts and dog farts in general, but I'll be
I don't
petting
know what
them.
it is
I
about
love
them.
you, I love you, and then just drop a bomb on me, and I'm like, ah.
That is a hard thing about the bus, about the school. You know, I have a pit bull. Her name is Stella, and I got her at the South LA Animal Shelter. She was there for like 4 months. She's humongous, and she farts so loud. And then she has the audacity to like look at her ass and smell it. Was like, was that me? You know, was that couldn't have been me? And I was like, it was definitely you. And she's like, my goodness, I am so proud of myself for that. You know, she looks like she gets confident. She'll like scoot up.
Are the
Yeah,
dogs you have 8, 9?
9. Yeah,
Are those all your steady dogs?
yeah. I had 10, and unfortunately, it's been 6 weeks now. But I lost a very important one 6 weeks ago.
Oh,
She was very old though. She was a foster, and I couldn't get her adopted, so I ended up keeping her. Her name was Cece. But yeah, I was traveling with 10, and now there's 9, and yeah, it's all. I mean, they're all. You know, people always tell me how crazy it must be, and it's times where they're pretty hyped, but most of the time they're doing what they're doing now, which is just all sleeping around. I mean, I'm in the room right now with all 9 of them.
that's wild. I mean,
Yeah.
one child would sound worse than that. What's like,
Yeah,
you wake up,
especially if that kid, you know, cried and stuff like that all the time.
it's so quiet in there. They're so well behaved. Like, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Are you out? You guys find a place to go hike? You exercise?
No, I have a little bit of a morning routine that is very difficult to stick to, because you know your thoughts try to get you to do other things. But my dogs don't go very far, so whether I'm in the bus or in the house, um, as long as I'm not in like a city, but I don't remember the last time we were all in a busy city. Excuse me. But the door is always open. So like right now the door is open, so the dogs can come in and out of the house. So the first thing that I do, I wake up, I meditate for at least 10 minutes, then I journal for anywhere between 10 to 25 minutes. I'll do a very quick workout, like 5 to 15 minutes of push-ups and sit-ups, like really quick, just to get my body going. And then I take the dogs on like a between 20 to 35-minute hike, unless they're sore. Like for example, we went to the beach yesterday and played for like 3 hours, so they don't want to do shit today.
They're done.
They're done. Yeah. So it really depends on their activity level. But if we don't really have an active day ahead of us, or if we haven't had an active day before, because we do quite a bit of hiking and swimming, then yeah, I'll take them on like 3 30-minute walks a day.
Have you guys ever like encountered predatory wildlife on the paths and hiking? Come across any bobcats or Sasquatches?
No Sasquatches, but that'd be fucking awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. One time I saw, and I really thought it was Bigfoot, but I was just really high, and it was this huge tree that was looking at me weird. I'm just kidding.
What is it?
No, I'm totally kidding. But I do see a lot, like where I'm at right now, for example, right? The other day, I saw a bunch of elk. Yeah, and I saw them before the dogs did, so I just ran the opposite direction. So, because whenever I run, the dogs follow me. But then I realized they started coming out quite a bit. So I just make a lot of noise. Like where we go to a lot of areas where we got to be pretty nervous of bears. Like that's my biggest fear, is walking up on a bear and her mama cubs, because that has happened. And I just have to make a lot of noise. And my dogs and I were pretty. We pick up on each other quite a bit. Like we know what's going on. Like I know if one's about to like take off way before. We just have an understanding, and the feeling is mutual. So when I get nervous, they're like, "All right, we can't mess around. Like we gotta stay by dad," you know. So when I start freaking out and like shouting their names, they don't leave my side.
And is it an alpha situation with you, or is it more of a cohesive respect? Like how do you man the pack?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's an alpha thing. I think it's important to kind of drop that and that mindset, like the alpha thing, because like I from what I've seen from like so many dog people that I've met, like when someone kind of states that they're the alpha, or they say that you need to be the alpha, they kind of bring that into other areas of their life where there shouldn't be an alpha. Like I don't think, and by the way, I am completely open to the fact that I could be wrong about this, and I'm sure I'm wrong about it with some people. But when you label yourself like as an alpha, like I'm the alpha, that's just like an affirmation that I don't think you should have. You know?
Yeah. That'd be the worst dude or person at like a house party. You're like, oh
yeah, here comes the fucking alpha. Yeah, I mean, and girls too. You know, like they and probably, you know, I'm all for it, but I think just being a leader is what we should strive to be. And I mean, of course, like when you have this many dogs, like I have to be a good leader with them. I have to be able to control my emotions. I have to be able to like stay calm in really the worst situations, whether it's really crazy weather or whatever it may be. And yeah, I believe that they look at me as the leader for sure, but they definitely take on their leadership roles here and there. They're not you know, so well behaved 24/7.
Especially those little ones. It's always the little ones. That's what everyone.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean,
what would you say is like for yourself personally the most important thing that helps you maintain that leader role? Is it staying calm? Is it being flexible in the moment and being present? All of it?
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, like I appreciate the those answers, because I don't think that one of those is more important than the other. You know, I think that I think being calm and staying present and all those things is really important in our everyday life. There's not like I just approach like my life with my dogs is how I would live my life without my dogs. You know, and what's great is like they remind me often. Like let's say I lose my, like if I lost my temper right now, right? My chihuahuas, my little ones, and probably even a couple of the big ones if they weren't sleeping, would like my chihuahuas would probably run under a bed, right? And like when that happens, even though I'm not even angry with them, right? It breaks my heart. Like I feel so shitty that I allowed something, especially me, to terrify them when I'm supposed to protect them. And like I got emotional, I lost my temper, and now they're for even if it's for a minute or 10 minutes, they're in fear. And it really hurts my feelings. So what my dogs do by being around me is to remind me that I have to maintain that leadership personality, behavior, and everything, all 24/7.
That's a smart approach. I think it goes beyond just the immediate.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Give me 1 second. My dog is at the door. I want to make sure it's open. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely, get out there. Yell for the Sasquatch. We need to get a video.
Patrick, let me just open this 1 second.
We need a Sasquatch video, guys. While we're waiting for Lee, if you want to follow Lee on Instagram, it's the Asher House. I highly suggest it. It's entertaining, informational. Is that a word? Informative? Informational?
Yeah, it's a word.
I think it might be a word.
Informational for sure.
Well, I have a bunch of fans who want some informational advice from you. Do you want to do some fan questions?
I would love to. Yeah, that'd be
fan
awesome.
questions. We don't have any music. That's the music. Fan questions.
Good.
This is from, I butcher the names because I'm a really bad reader. Even though I love reading, I'm terrible at it. I think I have like poor eyesight. Matthew.
I'm about to put my glasses on actually.
Put your glasses on to hear me try to read.
I feel like I don't know because I haven't stared at my laptop for this long in a long time, which is so funny because everyone yells at me for not using my laptop because I do everything on my phone. So now I realize I need to more often.
Oh yeah, now you're collegiate. We're ready for it. We're ready for the Q&A.
I'm smart as fuck. How do you like them apples?
Matthew Wandery 96. How many? Okay, we're not going to ask that question.
I think we're all curious now. Come on.
Oh my God. Wow, Matthew. You need to call your mom because that question is rude. I'm glad that I vetted it myself. Debbie Della Rosa, we're going to move on.
Sure.
Do you have room
you got to tell me later what that question was.
I will. I'll show you after. She wants to know if you have room on your bus for her and her dog.
That's very sweet. What's the next one?
John Griffin 456. Can I go with him? Everyone wants to go with him.
Yeah.
Brian Tatum.
Wendy had a better chance than John.
I know. John, what are you bringing to the table, John? First of all, if you go with Lee, you can't just like, this isn't like a hitchhiking situation. Like you're going to have to help.
You know what? I know we're answering questions, and I'm looking forward to the rest. But it is funny because I do get that. I do get asked that quite a bit, and I just don't think it's very flattering. And I know 90% of them are probably joking, except for the emails that I get when they're like, "I'm being dead serious." But I don't think people realize how much work it is. Like it is so much work. I've had several jobs, and in many different areas. And this is by far the hardest job I've ever had in my life and will ever have. Like, it's so hard. But of course, the rewards, exceed any sort of any complaints whatsoever.
I think that's how it goes, though, when you're going after something that is so innate to your essence.
Yeah.
The difficulty level, it's beyond difficult. It's the pain to get over the hurdles is on another level. And the amount of concentration and patience,
insane.
Such a huge aspect to anything. It's and you also, I don't know about you, but for what I do, I find myself having to be my cheerleader. I'm my own toughest critic, but I also find myself like, come on, bitch, you got to keep going. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my God. I mean, it's so important, especially like it really, and I tell my audience this, I strive really, like this is a goal of mine. I strive to be the person that my audience thinks I am. Like
That's great.
I want to be the person that they think I am, right? And it just shows you, because I mean, my support group, like on social media, I don't think I could be any luckier. Like it's not just the fact that it's not even dog people, because there's a lot of those weird fucking dog people too, rescue people who like nothing's ever good enough, whatever. But man, do I have just the most compassionate, special, motivational, supportive group I could ever ask for. I couldn't ask for anything more. But what is so important is that I have to view myself the way they view me. Like we have to motivate ourselves every day. We have like it's so true, because we are our, I'm sure just like we're our own toughest critic. There's
Yep.
no one out there that could say anything to me that would hurt my feelings that's worse than what I've said to myself. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I've just looked in the mirror and said, "You pathetic piece of shit."
Is it terrible that makes me laugh?
No, it should bring you and hopefully some people comfort. And I won't even be in a bad mood. I'll be laughing. I'll be like, "Man, today's gonna be awesome." No, it's not, you fucking loser. I'm like, whoa, why'd you say that? Because you know it's true.
That little
Yeah.
mental.
A little thing to keep you humble right here.
You gotta stay humble. We have to stay humble out in these streets. Wait,
Trust me, it's easy for me.
Didn't this amazing community, are they one of the reasons why you're in this bus? The schoolie bus?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We I started Queen. So a lot of people have really done their best to encourage me to write a book and come out with like a few different things of merchandise. So I did a pre-order for my book, and all the money from the sale would go to buying a new bus, because I had an RV before that caused a significant amount of problems. And it was a lot smaller than this and not as spacious. So I really wanted to upgrade. And I sold like over 900 books. We raised like $60,000, $65,000 minus the cost of the books, which will be about 20,000. So I got to put like about 45 grand towards a new bus, and we got it. It was amazing.
That is so amazing. And also it must feel good that like you're working for that as well. It's
yeah, I've never, nor will I ever do like a GoFundMe. Like anything that and I'm not against them. I actually, not only am I not against them, I admire and envy the people that have no problem asking for money. Like I think that's a skill or some sort. Like I think it's amazing. I can't just ask for money. I've even had someone. This was quite interesting. When I had the RV and I had a busted generator, someone offered to replace the generator, but they said that I had to ask for it. Like, yeah, and it made sense because he wanted to teach me like you have to be willing to ask.
That's true.
Like I can't just say what's wrong. I have to ask for the solution. And I asked him. I said, "Can you please help me finance this?" And he said yes. And he PayPal'd the money right away. But like I have such a hard time, if someone gives me something, I cannot not give something in return. Like I cannot just take a donation. I cannot just, like, you see most people in the rescue community who have a Patreon, like they just have the Patreon and people donate, and which is great because it's fantastic. That's amazing. But right. I have to give back. I have to do something in return, which is not a good thing. I know I say it like with pride, but I just cannot just take. I don't know. I cannot.
I don't think it's a good or a bad thing. I actually think that the way you're doing it is, it's like a creative. Like you are a creative and you're providing entertainment and information for people, but also there is an aspect to life when you become an adult where you have to be okay with asking for help. And these people who are asking for money, some of them just want money, but essentially to the core, they're asking for help. And nothing wrong with that. I wish I was better at that. I haven't asked for help enough. And now, like in this quarantine, I'm asking motherfuckers for help all the time.
Right. I feel you there.
But I think it's a noble thing to be aware of your ability to evolve as a human and be like, oh, okay, well, I want to offer something of value. My value comes in what I create and what I do for a living. And also I need to ask for help. So like,
Right.
that's some adult shit, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate that. And evolving is what it's all about for me. But what I do often, which is really not nice, like I'm not saying it's nice of me, but it makes me feel really good because I have such a supportive group, is that when I see a nonprofit like struggling and they have a specific situation that they need money for, what I'll do is I'll just like raise money for them. Like there's been so many times I don't want to take up too much time because I feel like I'm really talking a lot. So
you're doing great.
But there's been so many times where like there's been like a dog or like, recently a cat that needed like X amount of money, and I was like, hey guys, and I'm not giving anything back, but I'm like, hey guys, I just donated. Please donate to help this, and like within minutes, it's been done. It's been awesome.
That shit's
so. Anyways, I know you have more questions. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. There's no restraint to it at all. We on Weeds Day, which today is Weeds Day, I didn't even realize that. I raise money and awareness for Alzheimer's, and I do it by combining a live feed. Like I'll do it on Instagram, and I'll answer questions from my fans. I'll engage with them, and we'll party. We'll put on some music. I'll smoke a little marijuana, and then we'll raise money
on Instagram. You do live on Instagram and you do that?
Yeah.
That's a really cool idea. I like that.
It's so fun to like combine this, drug, medicine. I consider it medicine. I don't think it's a drug. To combine something.
Anyone who smokes weed doesn't think it's a drug.
I'm not addicted to it. I'm not going to be in an alley sucking a dick for a joint. Like I don't need it that bad.
Yeah, 2 joints and you got yourself a deal though. Or it also depends if it's sativa, because I'm not going to fall asleep doing anything gay.
It's just fun to combine, marijuana with a cause. Like I think it's fun to sort of destigmatize this thing, this plant, and help bring awareness to a terrible disease. And that's something cool that we can do with our own individual lives. Like you can help different foundations and charities like that. That feels good. That's a part of my career where I'm like, okay, I'm making a difference. I'm helping people. And also it's very close. My father died of Alzheimer's in 2008. So
my goodness. I didn't know that.
It was brutal, but it humbled me. It changed my life and it gave me purpose. And
yeah, look what you're doing with that. I mean, that's incredible. I didn't know. Is marijuana known to help people with Alzheimer's? I didn't know that.
Well, there are aspects of CBD that helped him physically, like towards the end, like in the end stages. You know how people, I don't know if you've ever been around somebody who's sick or ailing, but they look so uncomfortable. They're kind of like tight, and he was laying in bed and he was like scowling. He was always fidgeting and he just couldn't fucking rest.
Fuck, man.
And like that, for my sister and I and my family, like that was the hardest part. Like we just want to be fucking comfortable.
I know.
If he can't communicate, if he can't eat, can he at least be fucking comfortable?
Yeah, I understand. On a different level than you and not as close, but I very much understand. But yeah.
And
CBD helps him.
Want for a loved one, and for us to get him CBD, which is the non-psycho element.
Yeah, I can tell that you don't know this, which is fine because I'm not very outspoken of this, but I actually own a CBD company.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's called Asher House Wellness.
Well, excuse me.
It's CBD for both humans and for your pet and your dog is what it is. But yeah, we're in the middle of a rebranding phase right now.
So you know all about it.
I don't think I know all about anything really, but I know enough about it that I'm for it.
That's a really great fucking answer. And I want every guy and human, but guy who's listening to write that on your fucking mirror. I don't know all about anything. Like every human, that is the most simple yet deeply intuitive sentence that I have heard somebody say in a long time.
Oh, well.
You're a very honest person.
I wish I could take credit. I believe it was Aristotle who said, all I know is that I know nothing.
Yeah. Fucking A. Especially when when I've been, hitting the bong early in the morning.
you're like, I literally do not know shit, which feels so good sometimes. It feels so good to like just not know. Like knowing that you don't know is such a better thing than trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh God. So
I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't know.
I don't know.
If I was supposed to know, I would know. All I know is this is Channel 7, and I'm going to watch it for another hour. So leave me the fuck alone!
All I know is that I don't know, and I want a grilled cheese sandwich. That's all I fucking know. Is there a grilled cheese sandwich?
That's enough for me today. That's enough to know. But yeah, I know. I actually was. Yeah, my ex-girlfriend. I got this opportunity to actually get sponsored by a marijuana company. And she kind of, and she was right. It would have been awesome, and it would have helped me finance my mission. But she was like, this was just a year ago, and she said that, and she's not a big smoker, but she said like this may, although like I was going to do it not to encourage people to smoke weed, but to encourage people to like of how it is not a drug, and like to focus on the benefits. And like I do not believe that people, like there are certain people who should not smoke. Like don't get me wrong, like if you're not achieving the things that you should be achieving, like I don't think weed is going to help you achieve those things. You know what I mean? Like wait till you're at a place. Either way, it doesn't matter. But it's a shame that although there's been so much progression where, like what you just said, it's not a drug, we're still not there yet. It's just still not there yet. But I will always, I will always say that if weed is a drug, then alcohol is a very scary drug. To put one worse than the other, and usually people put that weed is. I just don't agree with. But just like there's a lot of people who shouldn't drink. So a lot of people shouldn't drink, and a lot of people shouldn't smoke, and whatever. I think we're going a little far off topic. You had some Q&A stuff for me though.
I think you're 100% right. I think, last time I checked, I don't think there were too many domestic abuse cases while people were stoned.
You ate my grilled cheese.
And you're just like, oh fuck, I'm gonna make another grilled cheese. I love you too. Like,
I know. Oh, that was honestly a really, I don't know. I know you were just, but that was really sweet what you just did. That really kind of touched my heart. That was really nice. I mean, that sounded so genuine. It almost sounded like you've been in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm, naturally, I'm very fortunate because I err on the side of positivity. It's a natural inclination for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm an artist and a creator, I also dip my toe in the self-doubt and the whole negative thinking. So depending on how I wake up in the day, when I smoke weed, I don't know which journey I'm going to take. So it's taken a very concerted effort to implement things into my life. Like you were talking about your morning routine, like my morning routine and my daily routine, I've had to be kind of consistent on. And for me, that helps me have a consistent outcome when I'm smoking. It's all about the individual. If you're having anxiety and panic around marijuana, if you're sitting in the couch and being lazy on marijuana, it has nothing, that's you. It's not the plant. It's just reflecting what's going on within your own chemistry.
Everyone is different, but I do believe that it just enhances where you're at. Like, and for some people that's not true. I know someone who they don't smoke when they're happy or eat an edible when she's happy. It's when she's sad. So like I know that for some people it's different, but for the majority, I know that it just enhances the mood. The mood. That's why it's so common when someone's watching a funny movie or tasting a delicious meal. They're like, I wish I was high right now.
Food tastes so good when you're high.
What does?
Food. You ever eat strawberries?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would consider myself a chef, but I'm humbled and grateful to be called one, although I've never taken it. But I very much enjoy cooking plant-based meals. I cook them often, and they having a little bit of an enhancement it helps to enjoy them for sure.
A little bit of that jazz cabbage. Woo! I'm fucking Chef Boyardee. you motherfucker. Move over, Gordon Ramsay. This kitchen ain't closing, you motherfucker.
Chef Boyardee, I'll fuck Gordon Ramsay up. Yelled at me like that.
Chef Boyardee. I'm not stoned right now. This is just my brain all the time. More questions.
No, I'm not stoned, but I am hungry.
I'm always hungry. That's a girl thing. I'm hungry and cold.
I'm not allowed to be hungry?
Well,
that's a girl thing. That's a girl thing.
You can't be hungry. Only women. It's our thing. Thank you.
Oh, that's so funny.
Please step away from the hunger. Vedran Missick says, I live in New York City, and you were actually talking about this. All rescue places are backed up with applications for adoption. What should I do? Yeah, so what about these people who are in places where, like you were saying,
Well, one thing is, I think the important thing to do here, right, first and foremost, is to fucking celebrate. Like, it is the majority of people who are upset by this, again, are looking way too inward. Instead of like, why is it that you wanted to foster? Why is it that you wanted to adopt? To help these animals. Obviously, the job is done. So I think it's very important to celebrate. Like, this is a beautiful thing. I know this is happening. It's very common. But yeah, let's be happy that this is a very high quality problem, right?
Yeah.
The second thing, I think this is a great lesson for people to not wait. Like, is there something that you should do that is gonna, better serve humanity or help animals? Is there something that you can do? Then do it. Don't wait for COVID. Don't wait for whatever comes next. There will be something. Don't wait for you to do that. Like, there are just let's go. I understand that I understand people have work, right? They say, well, now I'm not working, so I can foster. Okay, but when you are working, there's something called I can't think of it, but I think it's Frollo. It's a sleepover program where you can take a dog out of a shelter and they sleep over at your house for a night or two. And it's been proven that some of them just call it sleepovers. And it's been proven that this increases that dog's chances to get adopted because the dog is basically going on this mini vacation. And when they get back to the shelter, they're not this like scared, shivery, or loud barking dog. They're actually more calm and chill for a few days usually. So that dog has a higher chance to get adopted. So again, first is we celebrate. Second, another lesson, don't wait. And the third thing is if you really want to find a dog to adopt, you'll be able to. Like, people are still adopting right now. People are still fostering. It's about, just like anything in life, is how bad you actually want it. Like, people always ask, how do I do that? But you don't really care how anyone did anything. You are just looking to waste fucking time. If you really want it, you will go find a dog to adopt. You will figure this out. We have to be honest with ourselves. Like, just because it wasn't so easy, it doesn't mean that it's not meant to be. Like, I know I have two friends, I had an RV before the bus. I had an RV, which I'm using to help with adoptions. Like, I was going to use it for transports, but now that this is happening, I'm not. But I have two people who are using the RV to foster as many dogs as possible. Unfortunately, and I love them for this, so I'm not trying to be negative, but so what's great is they just fostered a dog, right? So mission accomplished. They found a dog, they're fostering a dog. Unfortunately, it's their first dog they're fostering, so it's very hard to foster and not want to keep it. So they're already wanting to keep this dog, and I'm like, I gave you this RV to foster dogs. So I'm in this quite of a funny, beautiful, irritating dilemma. Pimpians, come here.
I saw another story that's going to be created with this. These friends of yours are just going to have 8 dogs on the road with them.
Little pimpies.
Oh my goodness.
You want to see how pretty you are?
You're
Look how pretty. Look how pretty.
Look at you. Wait, let me get Bunny. Come here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, the bigger version. The bigger version of Pans.
Oh my god, they look like little twins. Yeah. Bunny, look, it's your long lost dogger.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Is that dog? It looks like a Muppet. It's like butter in your arms.
I know, she's so cute.
Rand Matthews. Not a question, but Lee actually has 9 dogs, not 8.
Boom. Thank you, Rand.
The details.
I love you, girl. I told you, man, we got the most supportive group. You don't fuck with us.
He's like, excuse me, get your dog number right. Sizzy Sam, how do you afford to keep traveling?
Bitcoin. Got in and I got out. Perfect time. No, I actually lost quite a bit of money in Bitcoin. It's 100% sponsorships. Three things. So sponsorships. Always trying to, like, you see me. Not just obviously. I usually partner with brands that I've been using like way before the Asher House. So like Celsius is a great drink. They sponsor me. Chuck It, which is literally my all-time favorite dog toy in the world.
Fucking love Chuck It.
So good. So they sponsor me. Violet's Vegan Cafe, they sponsor me. So I have quite a few really amazing sponsors, and then I get brand deals throughout the way, obviously. And my merch does really well. We always sell out of that. And we get some donations, but like, again, since I don't ask for donations, everyone knows they're supporting the Asher House by buying merch and stuff like that. So I'm very fortunate to be able to like make a pretty good living. You know, I'm definitely not rich. When I was younger, I had the unfortunate limiting belief that money was the key to happiness, but I learned growing up that it's truly not. It does make things easier, but it's definitely not a key.
It does make things easier. I was similar growing up. My dad taught me that money did grow on trees. So I had I'm a self-taught financer right now, where it comes to like learning how to budget and invest and all those things. I'm a little late to the game, but I've taught myself. Everyone's like, what did your dad leave in the will? I'm like, he didn't leave a will. He left a bill. We don't have, there's no money.
Yeah. I mean, since you're being an open book, I spoke to my mom this morning and I said, how are you? And she said, I think I'm going to move to Panama. I said, why? And she goes, I think I'll be able to afford it there. And that was her way of letting me know that she would like me to wire her some money.
Yeah, that's her. See, she needs to learn to go, Lee, I need some money.
That's what it is.
She has to learn how to ask you for money. Carissa Love has a very personal question. She wants to know if you're single.
I am single, but I'm in this kind of a weird situation with, I don't know how to describe this situation, but you know, I still speak to my ex, and I'm still kind of like hung up on her a little bit. So I'm definitely not ready to date anyone, but I am single. Just like, no matter who it would be, I'm not available right now. But yeah, I do have this thing going on, so it wouldn't be healthy for anyone.
That's a grown-up response. Usually people are just like, let me dive right into the next person. Let me shove all of my emotion and project right on.
No. I would put a lot of unnecessary and a lot of unnecessary weight on that person. I'm definitely not ready right now for sure. But I do appreciate, and I'm sincerely flattered for that question. Thank you.
Well, you are dating 9 dogs, so your heart is full in that area, and your bus.
Yeah. Luckily, I have a very big heart.
You seem like you have a very big heart. Oh wait, one more question just came in. Okay, damn daddy 70. He says, fishing on a boat or hunting on land. Do you have time to do those activities when you're out and about traveling the world?
I have gone fishing a few times. I would say fishing on a boat for sure.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I feel I'm not against guns, but I also am not comfortable with them myself personally. And it's it's a different energy. I feel like it's more of like this kinetic energy that it takes to hunt. But then again, I don't know. Being on a boat.
Yeah, I have so many different beliefs about it. Like I'm kind of a weird. So I'm plant based, so I don't eat meat. However, if I was going, like, I'm pro hunting way more than pro, you know, getting your stuff from the grocery store. Like I'm pro like the work ethic, but the thing with the gun situation, I'm way more pro the hunting with the bow and arrow, like Joe Rogan. It's
Yeah.
just, I mean, that is the fucking way to do it, man. That
So
is
cool.
like you and the animal. You're hiding. The animal's not 200 yards away, just enjoying a snack with his girl. Like you are there with the bow and arrow. You get one shot. Like it's amazing. I like it. To me, I cannot be. Yeah, I try not to dive too deep into it because I know the emotional attachment that people have and the debate and how political it can be. But I think if you're a responsible hunter, if you're a responsible hunter, I do believe that there's like, as far as controlling the population, like there's goodness out of it. But I'm very for, and I don't talk about this often just because I got to stay in my lane with things. But I do believe, just for so many different reasons, that the plant-based diet is just a better one for me when it comes to like clarity and like how I feel, just like with what I do with my life. But again, I want you guys to know, like I'm in the supermarket buying pounds of beef and eggs, and I mush my hand in raw chicken wings, getting blooded up to feed my dogs. So I'm all about, my dogs are not plant-based. To me, it's about what our body needs and what animals need and things like that. So I didn't mean to get too deep into it, but I think I would just be more comfortable on a fishing boat with a fishing pole than in the woods with a gun.
So your dogs, they don't eat dry food. They eat the good food, fresh food from the grocery store.
I mean, I always have dry food with me. I think there's a lot of dry food brands that are phenomenal. I really do. I think, and as like research grows and as we move forward, like it's such a competitive market that really everyone's trying to, like, I feel like in the pet industry, the pet food industry, the goal is to find what is the best dry dog food out there. Like, what can we make that would be even better than raw? Like, that's what they're trying to do right now. Because that way everyone can feel like they can afford it. People like me can travel, easily with it. So I always have high quality dry dog food with me. I don't have a sponsor, so I'm not pitching anything. But if I'm at a base where like I can actually get to a grocery store, at least 3 or 4 times a week, my dogs are getting, about a pound of chicken wings, 40, 50 pounds of beef, a bunch of different stuff, fresh veggies. Yeah, that's the best stuff, but it's expensive, it's expensive, but it is why my dogs are the way they are. My dogs get CBD every single day. They get hip and joint vitamins, every single day. They get fish oil, they get the best food, and they're, ages between 7 to 12 years old, on these amazing hikes and amazing journeys, and they're the fucking best. All healthy, never go to the vet, and just like for us, right? They're like that way for their diet, and for me, I haven't been to the doctor in ages. Like it's the same thing. We have to just give our body what it needs,
Yeah, I've definitely.
And I'm not a health freak. I want you to know, like, I have a fucking sweet tooth. Like, no, as soon as 9 p.m. hits, from 9 to 11, I'm eating more Twizzlers and fucking sour gummy worms than anyone on the planet.
It's all about balance. It really
It's all
is.
about balance, love.
But I feel the same way. Like, I was vegetarian for so long, and then, burgers smell so good. But as of actually through this quarantine, I can't. There's something that happened to me in meat where I felt so much better the further away I got from eating it, and I haven't had it in so long. I don't care how good the beef is or whatever it is, it does something to my body. I feel sluggish. I'm not as mentally sharp. That's just me though. Not everybody's meant to be, it's all about finding what works for you, but
yeah, I mean, and again, like all those things that people crave, like I'll send you after this. I'll send you my recipe for a Beyond Meat burger that will change your fucking life. It is like I honestly prefer Beyond Meat burgers than a regular burger, hands down. I mean, it's just about the feeling that you eating it. You don't feel like looking back at like when I ate burgers that I just got, within 5 minutes at a drive-through. It's like, I know I'm not calling anyone a coward, but I'm very hard on myself. I'm like, man, you're such a coward. Like you're not going to kill an animal. You're not going to do this, but you'll go eat one. So there's, but again,
it tastes so good. If burgers taste so good.
Yeah, but it's like, you're just part of that rat system. You're waiting in line. I hate that. I'm in line with my few dollars, and I'm going to buy this burger that everyone else did, and I'm going to not, it's just like, I don't like being part of those
shit for 3 hours.
Yeah, you're constipated, you're sweating.
I'm going to crap a dragon in a day. I'm going to fucking crap a dragon. It's going to
actual dragon
out of my asshole. That's what's going to happen.
I mean, yeah. And we're just supporting that system, man. Shitty system.
It is definitely a system, but burgers are my weakness, but I haven't had one in so long, and everything about my health is better on the other side of a burger. So I'm trying to stay that path as long as I can. I balance it out with coffee, weed, and wine. I'm like, well, if I'm not having a burger, I'm gonna get high and drink some wine. That's what I'm gonna do.
If I were you, I would. That would be a great shirt for you to sell. Coffee, weed, and wine, and I'm fine.
I'm writing it down right now. I'm going to add it to my merch store. Where, well, before I ask where all my fans can find you, I want to ask you one thing that I've been asking my friends and guests that I have on the podcast to do for my fans. I've been asking my guests to say 3 things that people can do in quarantine, not to survive, because that mentality of, oh, I just got to survive. No, you got to thrive. This isn't just about hanging on. It's about taking over. So what do you think are like 3 things people can do to thrive in this current climate?
Well, one is I don't believe that we can do anything like productive or even make people feel good unless we are not feeling good. Like you always notice, like people are most giving when they feel like giving, when they're in that giving spirit. People are always nice to people when they're being really nice to themselves. It's like what's the difference between day one where you're driving and you see someone clicking change, asking you outside of your window, and you're like, no, I'm not giving you change, right? But for some reason, the second day you see someone and you give them change. It's probably whatever story you were telling yourself. Day one, you're like, I'm busy, I have shit to do, I suck at this, I don't have money, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that. And then you see someone asking for something, and you project that negativity onto them. The next day, you're like, you know what? I'm fucking awesome, and I'm gonna and I do have a good job, and I have a lot to be grateful for. And I know life can be hard sometimes, but it's actually pretty awesome. And someone has some change, and what do? You're like, here you go. So it's about we project our mentality. So I think it's important for every morning for you to do something that's going to give you a great story for the day. What can you do to give yourself a story for the day, so that no matter what negativity pops up, you can bring yourself back to, remember what I said this morning, because I know that's what's true.
That's so insightful. I love that.
That's the only way you're actually going to make any sort of change. You have to feel good about the change that you're making, and that starts with the change within. The second thing is I think that, if you were to have, what are they, dominoes, like a domino, right?
Like the domino.
If you have if I have a thing of 500 or 1,000 dominoes, if I just put one up each day, just one, it will get further along. Okay? And every day that I don't do it, the dominoes stay stagnant. It doesn't happen. Nothing changes. No matter how busy we are, even if it's as simple as sending loving energy into this world, if it's as simple as doing something like writing a motivational quote or writing something out and putting it for someone to see, if you just put one domino out a day, just put one thing out a day that is adding some sort of value. It doesn't have to be on a scale. You don't have to scale it. But again, you're starting your day with the intention to serve. And that brings us closer. And the third thing is, I think a lot of people are focusing on what they're going to do when this is over.
Shit.
Okay? And I can assure you that you're not going to do it. You're not.
100%.
You're not going to do it. So I think that people need to say to themselves, I'm either going to do this right now, or I need to come up with a different goal. because the longer that you cross off something on your list as being like, I'm not going to do it today, you're basically telling yourself that you're a failure. You're failing again. I failed again. I'm going to fail every time until quarantine is over. You need to decide, like, do I fucking want this? Like, do I fucking want to do this? Or do I just tell myself that so that I can be kind to myself for 10 seconds, or so I can sound like a good Samaritan? Do I actually fucking want this? And that's what we need to decide. Because if you fucking want it and you turn that want into a need and that need into a must, you will do it. But
if you are powerful, man.
Yeah, but if you wait, anything that we are waiting to do outside of quarantine, no way. Do not bullshit yourself, And everyone's tired of hearing it. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. No, everyone knows you're not going to.
It's now or never. It's like that now or never mentality. I love that. You are a fucking delight to talk to. I knew that we would have so much in common with our approach to life just because of perusing through your amazing Instagram page and all the things that you've been working on. It's so dope to see somebody going after something that's difficult, but you do it every single day and you bring so much joy to people, man. That's the one thing that defines me as a human, is knowing I'm bringing joy to people. And I'm sure that's an aspect of what you do. So for those of my fans who don't know who you are, now they do, where can they find you? Where can they go? What are some plugs you'd like to give to them so they can get more Lee Asher?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of my Pornhub name is Leave It or Take It. I got like 20 views, but I'm working that up. And,
your Pornhub name, what's the name?
I made it Leave It or Take It. I don't know. I was just fucking around. Not on Pornhub. No, you could. Hey, leave it or take it. Stop complaining. They keep leaving it.
Oh my god.
No, just there. I end up just standing there looking at the camera like an idiot. YouTube didn't work out. When Pornhub didn't work out, I'm just trying to work all the angles here. No, yeah, I mean, it would be great. I'm really, a lot of my focus recently has been YouTube. Really, that's where quarantine really helped me, because I've learned, so many people are now listening to podcasts more, watching YouTube more, because the videos are longer. People want to be entertained. So my YouTube is The Asher House. If you could subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. My Instagram is The Asher House. Facebook is The Asher House. And one thing that I am going to make sure that I get done this week is to put out my first podcast. Well, yeah, I'd like to put out my first podcast episode by Sunday. And yes. I'd like to, you've greatly inspired me in that department, which I appreciate. So
you need.
It's called the Asher House, your dog's favorite podcast.
That's perfect. I love that. People will love to listen to it. You guys check out Lee Asher, The Asher House, all across the board. He's amazing. You'll love his content and what he lives for. Lee, you are a fucking delight.
So are you. I really appreciate that. It really warms my heart. Thank you. This is a lot of fun. I appreciate you.
Thank you for taking time to kiss all those dogs, all 9 of the dogs. I
will, for sure. You want to see one real quick?
Yeah, one more. We got to see one more.
You got to see this face here.
Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to handle it. I'm going to watch your little faces. What is that? Is that a picture? Oh. Is it a St. Bernard? Oh my God. Yeah. The sweetest. I love.
You're sitting on the couch.
Look at all those puppies. Hi, babies. Oh, you're right in the nook of that doggy's butt. That's a big pit bull. Is that the pit bull?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Where's the pit bull? No, that's a chocolate lab.
Oh, it's a big dog.
Pit bull is on the bed, but if I go there, I won't have service.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to pause. Stop our recording, but we can talk more about the podcast in a second.
Cool. Sounds good.
Thank you.
See y'all. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.